Breaking update. On the night of June 22, 2025, U.S. forces launched a significant attack on 3 of Iran's key nuclear facilities, Isfahan, Fordo, and Natanz. The strike was carried out using B-2 stealth bombers and Tomahawk cruise missiles launched from submarines. At Fordo, 30,000-pound bunker-buster bombs were deployed, which President Trump called a spectacular military success. In his official address, President Trump stated, "All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. Now is the time for peace." He further declared that Iran's nuclear infrastructure had been completely destroyed and warned of further strikes if Iran does not choose peace. Iran's immediate response. Iran's Atomic Energy Organization confirmed the attacks but reported no radioactive leaks and no immediate civilian impact. Iran vowed to continue its peaceful nuclear program and issued a stern warning. America must wait. There will be consequences. Iran also announced the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, vowing that no EU fleet will reach Europe through that route. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi condemned the attack as a, quote, serious violation of international law and the UN Charter, calling it an illegal act of war with permanent consequences. He emphasized that Iran reserves the right to defend itself using all available legal means. Military and leadership response. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei called the attack a crime and warned the U.S. and Israel of a bitter and painful retaliation. Military spokesperson Abul Fazl Shakari announced an immediate and forceful military response, while the IRGC vowed to respond directly to both the U.S. and Israel. International reaction. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres described the strike as a, quote, dangerous escalation and urged for an immediate diplomatic resolution. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu praised the operation as a, quote, historic decision and commended President Trump's strong leadership. Leaders from New Zealand, Australia, and Mexico called for restraint and a return to negotiation. Venezuela and Cuba condemned the attack as a violation of international law and demanded an immediate cessation. Russia's response. The Kremlin issued a grave warning, saying the Middle East was plunging into a deep crisis. Russia called for a diplomatic solution and warned that any use of nuclear weapons by the U.S. would have catastrophic consequences. China's position. China issued a cautious but firm response. Beijing monitored the situation closely and expressed deep concern, urging all parties to avoid escalation and pursue a political resolution. President Xi Jinping warned that rising instability in the Middle East could threaten global peace and reaffirmed China's commitment to diplomacy. China and Russia held direct communication, criticizing Israel's role and urging all parties to respect international law and the UN Charter. Though avoiding direct involvement, China is applying diplomatic pressure and encouraging global leadership to prioritize stability and minimize human and economic losses. Conclusion. This attack marks a dangerous turning point that could shift the balance of power in the Middle East. The world, especially business and political leaders, now watches closely to see what comes next, peace or war.